Auzubillahiminash-shaytanir-rajim. Bismillahir-Rahmanir-Rahim. I'm Sadia Khan, your English teacher, Assistant Professor in Government Girls Degree College, Yakagon District, Mumand. Welcome to my channel, JQ Khan, with another lecture for the BS second semester, Spring 2020. Welcome to my class. Today my topic is in the continuation of my first lecture that was about formal letter. So today we will discuss informal letters. So let's start with the definition. An informal letter is a letter that is written to your friends or family members. In informal letter, unlike formal letter, we can use informal language. You can even use contraction like yours, she's, or he's. And all the letters have to start with an informal salutation such as dear, whatever you want to write, the nickname or the full name, or sister or brother, or to whomever you are writing, and you use the word for him or her in your daily life. An informal letter should end on an affectionate note such as yours lovingly, yours truly, or yours affectionately. Example of the topic of an informal letter can any be. You can write an informal letter to your friend for inviting him or her for celebration certain festivals. You can write a letter to your father for asking something. You can even write a letter to your brother or sister for advice, or many other informal example or topics we can find. You can find these topics in your grammar books or in the internet. Now come to the elements of the informal letter. There are basically 6 elements of informal letter. Firstly, sender address. Secondly, date. Then salutation. Then comes the main body. Then we have complimentary clause. And at the end we have name and signature. Sender address should be written on the top of the letter. Traditionally, we used to write it on the right side, but now it is written on the left side as well. I have chosen for you a sample of a letter. As you can see that first of all we have a sender address, then we have a date. The date you will write in the same way as I told you in a formal address, is that write the name of the month that will start with a capital letter, then date, and then the year in which you are writing a letter. Then salutation, dear mom, dear dad, sister, brother, or whatever, to whomever you are writing a letter. Then comes the body of the letter. Similarly, the body of the letter consists of the 3 parts: the introductory part, the main body, and the concluding body. In introduction you will write that what is the purpose of writing your letter. Then in a main body you will explain it, and then in a conclusion you will conclude it by saying what you want to say. Either you are inviting them, either you are asking something, either you are complaining something. Whatever it, you will have to write that there. And then a complimentary closure, yours lovingly, or your affectionately, whatever you want to write you can write it, and at the end you will write your name and a signature, and in this way you will end up your letter. So informal letter, I did not give so much emphasis on the each segment of the letter, as I have already explained that in the formal letter, and similar are the things in that, but basically there are some differences between the formal and informal letter. So I have chosen for you a chart or a table. If you keep this table in your mind, it will help you out in writing a letter or writing a note on an informal letter, whatever you have been asked in a paper. So the basis for the comparison we use is the meaning, the objectives, the format, the written to, voices and sentences, and size, and contraction or and abbreviations. So let's start it with the formal letter and then for informal letter. Informal letter, if we come to the meaning, a formal letter is the letter that is written in a formal language in a stipulated format for official purposes. An informal letter is a letter that is written in a friendly manner to someone you are familiar with. So obvious it is called a informal letter. Objectives of the formal letters are always professional communication, whereas the objective of the informal letter are always personal communication. Format, if we come to the format, as we already studied at that in a detail, the both of the letters, the informal and the informal, but the formal letter is usually written in a prescribed format only, whereas for informal letter, although the format is there, yet there is no prescribed format or hard and fast rule that you compulsory had to follow them. Written in which person? Formal letters are usually written in a first person for a business letter and third person and others, whereas informal letter are usually written in a can be written in a first person, second person, or a third person. Written to whom you are writing the formal letter, that is usually written to the business's purposes through the college or institution, employer, organization, etc. Whereas informal letters are friendly, so they are written usually to friends, family, or acquaintances, etc. Okay, which voice is used in a formal letter? Usually we use passive voice in formal letter, where we remain active in our informal letter. Sentences, we usually use long and complex sentences in formal letter, and in informal letter we usually use short and simple sentences. The size of the informal letter are usually concise, whereas that of the informal letter, that is according to your need, either that will be short or large, or it can also be a concise. Contraction and abbreviation are usually avoided in formal letter, whereas in informal letter we use them. So if we see the formal letter, here are the two images of the formal letter and informal letter that is already discussed in detail. So informal letter and formal letters are basically the two modes of writing a letter, which already I have explained. So I can conclude my lecture with the words that formal letter and informal letters are the two letters, the two mode of writing letter or written communication through which we communicate with people. In a formal letter, we communicate formally for serious purposes, and informal letter, we communicate in a friendly way, either in a serious mood or in a non-serious mood, but that is to the persons whom we knows very well. Thank you so much for watching this video, and hope you will understand, and wait till next video. Thank you.